My boyfriend left me to die alone. Should I feel guilty about how much better my life got? My boyfriend hoped I'd never recover from my illness, as if that wouldn't stop me from winning. It was completely bare except for my books, mattress, and clothes. But everything else was gone. The couch, television, kitchenware, even my personal computer had disappeared overnight while I was stuck in the hospital after collapsing. I felt panicked, heart racing so loud it filled my ears. I ran to the bedroom and threw open his closet. Empty. Even the hangers were gone. No, I mumbled. My hands shook as I logged into our banking app. Checking account 0. Savings account 0. Even the joint account we made for our wedding funds showed 0. I called James, panicking. Hello? He answered calmly. I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Right, my disease. I hung up and texted him. Where are you? Our money? The apartment? It's all gone. My phone immediately buzzed with a text from him. I took it. It's not like you were gonna use the money when you're dead. I fell to the floor hyperventilating. My own boyfriend of 6 years treated me like I was already buried underground in a coffin. But without money for the treatment, I might as well be 6 feet under. When I explained the heartbreaking situation to the hospital, they immediately applied me to a pro bono account and told me to continue with the treatment schedule as planned. I broke into tears thanking them over and over. But physical therapy was frustrating. I wasn't getting any better no matter what I did. Listen, my therapist Vic said gently. I know there's a lot on your mind, so take it slow. Take up some old hobbies, maybe discover something new. This therapy only works when your brain and heart are in one piece too. And so I did. That night, I found my dusty watercolors from college and started painting. A painful black and red sky filled with meteorites and a lonely tiny flower on the bottom, a hopeless situation that described how I felt. When I brought it to the new physical therapy session, Vic was blown away. Other patients who saw the painting completely understood how I felt, bursting into tears. And suddenly, I didn't feel so alone. So I painted more for people, drew up whatever they felt in the moment. And soon, my paintings were being bought and sold all throughout the hospital. Enough for groceries, rent, even treatment payment. Meanwhile, my ex-boyfriend was already nose-deep in debt. He had apparently taken the money and bet everything on blackjack and a pretty side piece who would later take the rest of his money after sleeping together one night. But his misery wouldn't stop there, and neither did my success. One of the sick patients who had bought a painting called me over again to her room and introduced me to her son, a man who happened to own 3 galleries downtown. I want to give you a show, he said simply, pulling out the portrait I made of his mom sitting by the hospital window full of subtle emotion. These aren't just paintings, they're conversations, he said, which was ironic considering my lack of voice. Vic agreed for me, saying it was an opportunity I couldn't miss, and he helped me prepare every single day. He spent every moment giving me courage, and he became the inspiration to my masterpiece. When he saw it, he stared for a long time. That's us, isn't it? I nodded before leaning over and kissing him, surrounded by all the finished paintings he'd helped create. Opening night was perfect until my ex walked through the gallery door, drunken and angry. Look at you, doing well without me. Never expected you to, survive? He burst into laughter at people's disgusted expressions. So how about 10 grand for good old friend? Since technically if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have all this, right? I couldn't speak to tell him off. Instead, I grabbed a paintbrush and painted a large black X on his white suit. My ex reached out to grab me, but Vic pushed him back right on time. She said no. Leave or what? He mocked. 2 officers rushed in right at that moment. People clapped as he got detained. And funny enough, because of the crazy backstory with the ex, the prices of my paintings ended up tripling during bidding, giving me just enough to retire that night if I wanted to. But I had one more painting to go, the most important one that would later be sold for a $3 million.